Thanks for stopping by my channel. I am Serge T, and let's talk Friday Night Smackdown for the date of April 19, 2024. And it was quite a show, don't you think? We had some number one contenders crowned, and we had some major things happening. So let's take a close look and let's talk about Friday Night Smackdown. It started off with a bang in a match that ended up a banger, and that is AJ Styles one-on-one with LA Knight. We already know that these guys have a feud, quite a rivalry going. And what a way to start the show. A great match. You know, their match at WrestleMania was really, really good. You know, LA Knight got his victory, and why not? That's his first WrestleMania, and AJ Styles putting him over. Good on him. Here, they thought did go with 50-50 booking. And a little bit of chicanery, a little bit of cheating. He had to rake the eyes of LA Knight. And as LA Knight stumbling back, AJ Styles connects with probably one of his best looking phenomenal forearms. Totally caught him flush on his forehead, flush, this perfectly, connected. And he got the 1-2-3. He advances to face Cody Rhodes. And those of you who know the history between these two, they were in Japan. They also were leaders of the Bullet Club. So, knowing the WWE and knowing the new era, they're definitely going to bring that up. I'm pretty sure I think they did before. They did that with Finn and with AJ before, because of course Finn was also a leader of the Bullet Club. I believe he was in the original one, like when it started. It was Finn. I could be wrong. I don't invest my time a lot in New Japan, but I do know somewhat stuff about it. Great promotion, great wrestlers that come out of there. See them in AEW. And a few have come over to WWE, but that's that. But let's move on. And because of his victory, like I said, he beat LA Knight. Then there will be another time for LA Knight, but it's AJ Styles' time. And AJ Styles is the kind of guy that they go to make the other guys look good. And he does. He puts on a good match. He really does compliment any wrestler that he faces. Doesn't matter what style. They could be a bruiser, they could be a technical person, they could be a big dude, they could be a cruiserweight, and he always performs. He always comes through. And so Cody's going to be the better for it, and I'm sure he's going to successfully defend the title. They're not going to take the title away from him. So hopefully they give him these challengers that aren't going to win, but at the same time they might win. See, that's the difference between WWE and in AEW. They always book somebody who that person just has not a snowball's chance in hell of winning. See, with WWE, it's like they do that, and you're like, oh, this guy might win. Like AJ. There's some people that are probably thinking he might win. You never know. They might do a swerve like that, but at the same time, I don't think so. They're going to give Cody at least a 6-month run, maybe even all the way to next year's WrestleMania. You got to make him strong. I mean, compared to that's the problem. You compare that to Roman, 1,000 plus, 1,200 plus days, 1,300 plus days, however long. He has to at least hit half of that. Gunther, same thing. Is Sammy going to hold this title for a year, for 300 some odd days? At least half of what Gunther did. He probably won't try to break Gunther's record, but at the same time, it's like, But like I say, folks, it's always all about the booking, all about the creative, all about how they're going to move this story along. And that's going to be a great match at Backlash. Let's see what happens. Now, Solo Sikoa arriving in style, looking like the tribal chief with some slick threads. And he then introduces, the newest member of the Bloodline, that's Tama Tonga. You see Paul Heyman talking to him, and all of a sudden he gets bumped into by Tama Tonga. He's like, poor Paul Heyman, man. He's like on edge. He should have been intimidated by Roman, but they had an equal appreciation of each other. They admired each other. They did, but Solo isn't. He's starting to show he's pretty power hungry now, especially since Roman's the one that said he's going to be the heir apparent to the tribal chief. So now Solo is bringing it on himself to be the tribal chief, And then when he introduced Tama Tonga, he called him my MFT. They didn't even explain what that means, you know. And he's there, and throughout the night we'll see what's going on with the new tribal. The new bloodline. Now we see Nick Aldis out there, and he's a SmackDown GM, as we know, doing an amazing job. I can't wait till him to get back into the ring. He's going to get back into the ring one of these days. He's, how old? They say 37, 38 years old. He's still young. And if those of you who are not familiar with him, I knew him as Magnus when he was in TNA, and he's a really, really good performer. Really, really does. He's a former TNA world champion as well. So, they're going to do something with him. You can tell that even in his suit, he's in shape. He's ready to bust out of that suit and start kicking some ass. But we'll see. We'll wait till then. It has to be some kind of a thing where he gets into it with somebody. He did that with Randy Orton. People were saying, oh, Randy and him are going to be at WrestleMania, because there was a little bit of a tension there. Remember Randy said that, hit what do you call it? He hit the RKO. He said, I might have one more, because he did it. He did it, and he wasn't supposed to do it with somebody. And I'm thinking, was it Nick Aldis? No, I don't think Nick Aldis took a bump yet. I don't think, But remember that? You're getting fined for hitting somebody with an RKO. Like, I got one more left in me. It looks right at Nick Aldis. So it's almost like, they're planting seeds for WrestleMania, but it never happened. But, Randy was in a match, and it was a good match, with him and KO and Logan Paul for the U.S. title. That was a good time. That was a good one. But, I'm sure we wanted Randy in something else. But hey, we got Randy at WrestleMania. Can't complain. And I'm sure Randy was like, cool, But he's there, and then he calls out the chief content officer, that is Paul Triple H Levesque. He comes out, and they present the new tag team titles. But of course, they bring out Aussie, A-Town Down Under. And they're out there, and they're all cocky, and they're being fucking stupid, and just totally flippant, and really just disrespectful to Triple H. Triple H, says that, we're going to introduce a new title, a new look, a better title. You don't need those no more. And then he presents them, he unveils it, and it's like a throwback. The titles are a throwback, They're like titles that we've seen before during the great time, during the greater era, during the great times when the tag team championships were respected. What was that? 80s, 90s feel to it. Remember that 2000s, even where we remember that design. Seeing that, it's really just, it made me go, whoa, And what I like about it, it's different from the Raw one. That's good. The Raw one, people were iffy. I wasn't. I was like, okay, cool. But it's different. I thought it was going to be the same design, but a different color. I was like, I don't want to see. And the Triple H wasn't going to do that. But that. If it was Vince McMahon, it would have been the same color, the same scheme, but it would have been a different color representing. It would be blue. You know what I mean? Right? Because in the one that's Raw, it's red. Okay, red, Raw. SmackDown's blue. We got it. We get it. That's how the titles were the ones before, with the Roman warrior heads on there. So I made a mistake of saying that, the big W on it. Remember in my video on, I think it was the Raw video? And I was thinking, oh shit, that's right. It's the take on the old, remember it used to be gold, or it used to be, when it was just one tag team titles, right? And, you remember like guys like the Colognes and, all these other guys, held the title, and before they split it and made it Raw, made it SmackDown. But man, they got, and then even on X, they're like, oh, which one's better? Did you like Raws or you like SmackDowns? And to me, it's like I like SmackDown because it's old school. It goes back to, then you got a little bit of new school with Raw, a little bit of old school with SmackDown. But I like the Raw design. I do like it, but I kind of lean towards that because I'm old school. I go way back. Yeah. Started watching wrestling when after Hogan dropped the leg on Iron Sheik and became WWE champion for the first time. I was hooked. after that. So I'm old school. But they tell him that, and then they go to give him the titles, those two, and then Triple H goes to shake their hand, and then here's Grayson Waller, like psych, and then Nick Aldis goes. He takes their titles, the old ones, right? Before they give him the new ones, he goes, I can make those titles disappear, meaning I can make your title reign disappear. And if you ever do that again, disrespect Triple H, And I'm like, yeah, it's character. That's what Grayson Waller is. He's a jerk, conceited jerk is also, Austin Theory. And I'm like going, exactly, like, the fuck you guys doing? Triple H is looking like, if I was able to still take a bump, and if I didn't have the medical issues I have, I'd knock your motherfucking asses out. He would have. I'm pretty sure he would have if he, because I don't even know if Triple H can even take even a minor bump because of his condition now. But man, old Triple H of old, those guys would have been like knocked out of the ring. They would have been stripped of the titles and stuff. I'm sure that what's his name wanted to strip them of the titles. Wouldn't surprise me if Nick Aldis did, and he actually threatened that. So, he takes their titles away, and it's so stupid when he takes their titles away. The old ones they have, they're like, what? Like, what are you doing, kind of thing. I go, motherfuckers, you do see that there's the new titles right there, and he gives it to them, and they go out, and then he actually says before they even go out, he's all, and your titles may be disappearing soon because we have the tournament or the triple threat, not triple threat, it's a fatal 4-way tag team match. Coming up, they still look like they're on what, and then they skedaddle out of there. They go to they go to what do call it, commentary. They sit on the side there and talking and saying their nonsense throughout the entire match. Speaking of the number one contenders, fatal 4-way, we have first come as the Street Profits, and then second is the New Catch Republic. Still trying to get used to that name, but I'm already used to those two, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Amazing tag team. I can't wait till they win the titles. It'll be soon, maybe not too soon, but soon enough. But one day they will, man. They're just too good of a team. And then Legado del Fantasma and AOP. It was announced before when they went to a commercial break. They come back and then everybody's there. Now, the match was, your typical multi-man match, multi-tag team match. A lot of spots, a lot of offense in there. AOP was dominating in the match. At one point, the other guys were looking at each other, and then they start beating on them because, of course, they're the bigger guys. 600 plus pounds combined, Resar and Akam. And then they're just, doing their thing, and they're trying to get the one up. There's those, those, what do you call those moves where someone's on the top rope and then they do a double team. I mean, there's one spot where I think AOP and others were outside, and then in comes, here's like, New Catch Republic on either side of the turnbuckle, and then they do a backflip, and then without even a moment's like hesitation, in comes Montez Ford over the the ring post, like he always does, and then take out everybody on the outside, all over the place, man. And not in a bad way. It was great. Love that. Montez Ford is a beast. One day they will push him and make him a singles competitor, and he's going to be good. He's going to do well. You think his wife is off and running and multi-time, women's champion, stuff like that? Montez Ford will have that in his future, if they choose so, if they choose to do so. But in the end, the Profits connect with their finisher, where Angelo Dawkins does a power bomb while Montez Ford does the cutter. Pretty slick move. I like it, and I like that they bring it out once in a while. Gives it that little little pop. That little thing where it's like, wow, that's good. It's not that we're seeing it every damn week, and then it's just like, Sometimes they'll do a thing where, he did it earlier where, Angelo Dawkins has the guy has the guy up, holding him, and then Montez Ford does the damn blockbuster. That's another finisher that they could do, and they've done that before. They finished with that move before. Remember before it used to be where Angelo Dawkins would do a power bomb, the guy would be laid out, and then in comes Montez Ford with a frog splash. A frog splash, and I'm sure Eddie Guerrero's looking down, smiling, going, "Damn, man, that's better than mine." I don't know about that. No one did it better than Eddie, but people had their way of doing it. Of course, we got Rob Van Dam who does it, and so many other people do it. But there's only one Eddie Guerrero, and I think that to me he's the one. But Montez Ford, man, he gets that height, and then when he comes down, whoever is on the receiving end, man, they gotta be hurting because that's a 210 pound, 215 pound man coming down on you. But they win, and they're now they did their finisher. They did it on Angel, of course, because even though Angel and Berto are a great team, great performers even on their own, but they're going to be the goats. They're going to be the damn sacrificial lamb. They're going to be the ones to take it. Because who cares if is it going to make them look weaker? They already look somewhat weak because they're not been presented well. I like the team. I like Legato, but come on, they've had their moments, but really they have to kind of be presented in a better way. And I think this is just their way of, what do you call it? They're just there to eat L's and make someone else look better. One day they might get their due, one day they might get the tag team championships. It doesn't matter. Triple H is an equal opportunity, giver. He gives people their chances. They have to earn it, though, because Triple H is old school. You got to earn it. I ain't going to give it to you. Triple H comes from that mindset, like my mindset, and everybody in the age group that I'm the same age as Triple H. So I've been with Triple H since '95. That was when he debuted with his Regal, not William Regal, but his he was from Greenwich, Connecticut. He was a blue blood. He was a guy who only about the finer things. I seen a video of his when he did that stick, and he was doing an accent, what's that kind of an accent? A British royalty accent. Ooh, awful. It's just as bad as as when Booker T would do it. Even though Booker T did it for comical effect, and that's why people liked it. I admit I'm it's kind of funny when you talk, but then after a while it got annoying. Even his wife Charmel got into it, and she was annoying with it. At first it was great, and then they just went all over the place. But it's so it's only a matter of time. But then, like I said, they get the pin on Angel, and now they're your number one contenders. Your number one contenders are Street Profits, and then they're joined by Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, in the ring, and B-Fat. And I would tell you, man, she be looking fabulous. I mean, she's a fine-looking woman. God damn, man, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that they got her doing something. She's not too good as a wrestler. She's very green. I don't know how much experience she had before she started wrestling. They did give her a little bit of her time in the ring in NXT. It pretty much, she got through the match only because of who she was wrestling. I forget who she was wrestling, but she got through the match. And it's just maybe this is her thing, and she actually does well. She does get into it with it. You got to give it to her when during the match at WrestleMania, and then she put her and Scarlett. She did a Russian leg sweep, and then she put her and Scarlett through a table outside the ring at WrestleMania. You got to give her due. I gave it to her. I'm saying, damn. Girlfriend said, "Hey, I'm gonna do my part because I know these guys are gonna do something, big through a table. So let me do it out here." And of course, when the table's out there, it's set up for something. Let somebody go through. Someone's got to go through that table, right? Now, at least the table's broke. Well, there's that one table that just decided to break on its own. Like I said in my past video, it probably was meant to be outside, and then someone could just go through it easily. But then when they put it in the ring, kind of activated it or whatever, and it just went boop, and then they had to bring another table in. Yeah, I mean, they didn't miss a beat. They brought it in. They can bring it in, bring it out of the table and shit. Fucking, let's make something out of this, But that was a good match. It was fun. And Street Profits, the Street Profits are definitely a good choice because they're a babyface, over babyface, and you're going up against one of the most hated tag teams because they're so arrogant. The A-Town Down Under. It's like their name, A-Town Down Under. It's like a kind of like you wouldn't put town with down together. You know, kind of sound, comes off. You have to get used to saying it. A town down under, but it's actually a good name. I actually do like it, and they're a good team, and hopefully they keep them together for a while because there was hints like we're gonna break them up because remember Grayson Waller kept, you know, volunteering what do you call it for matches Austin Theory, and then Austin Theory's like, I didn't want to face him. Was it Randy Orton? Was that one match? One of the matches? I'm like going, yeah, dude. I'll be like, damn, why you volunteer me for to face Randy Orton of all people? You know? But you know, that's that, and you know, I like the matchup. It's gonna be great. Who knows if the Profits are at the stage now where they don't need a title really. They can benefit from one. I mean, they're the Profits. There's three Profits, but they've won every title. You know, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, like the Triple Crown of tag team titles. Now you got the new version, so I guess now they got to go after those, and then probably that's going to be the alternate. You know, they know they have two different Grand Slam categories, right? Because Miz is a two-time Grand Slam champion because of the titles that were added. You know, like the original Triple Crown is the WWE title, the Intercontinental title, and tag team titles. You know, back in the day. But that's gonna be a good match, like I said. Is it gonna be at Backlash? Because sometimes these titles are done on the Raw or SmackDown before a pay per view, or even just in general, just a regular Raw or SmackDown. I get it. They do that because they have to attract people to watch the product. You can't put every title on the pay per view. You know, and I get it. But it's kind of overdone on AEW where they put every title on the line every time, whatever. They even put the women's or men's world title on the line, and they got a match with somebody. So you know that the person that's challenging before that main title match at the pay per view, you know that person ain't gonna win. So it's like, why do you do that, TK? Why? You know, Triple H doesn't do that. You know, and if he does it, there's a strong chance that person is like a person that may beat him. You don't put a scrub against the champion and then making us think, oh, is she going to win the title? No, because she's like someone that we haven't seen on TV for like how long. That's what AEW does. Like I said, I'm not knocking AEW because I'm a WWE mark. No, it's just because I'm honest. I've said time and again, I'm like a rarity when it comes to the IWC. There's other channels that I see and they're so brutally honest and they get all this hate from people saying, oh, you're a WWE ass kisser. You're a WWE ass kisser. You know, they say you're an ass kisser on both brands. And I'm like with a few of these guys that I like both. And I want both to succeed. If you can't take criticism, and some of the wrestlers from AEW do that. I think WWE does that, has some too that do that. It's like you're not going to get better. You're at a job. How are you going to get better if the boss doesn't tell you, hey, you made a mistake here? If they just let you go on and keep making that mistake, you're not going to get better. You know, don't take it personal. Like I've said in the past, don't take it personal. That's just them caring enough to tell you. Because if they don't care, they're not going to give you the time of day. You should worry when they don't give you the time of day. You know what I mean? If they're just there and they're not saying anything to you, you know you made a mistake, but then they seen it and they're not telling you anything, there's something to that. Oh, obviously my manager or my boss don't care. But when somebody said, even with the fans like myself, say, hey, this thing was wrong, this thing was off, maybe you should do this, maybe you should listen and go, maybe they're right. You know, maybe I should tweak this a little bit, or maybe I get it, it's their career, they're the ones that are in control of their performance in the ring, but it's like sometimes less is better. Sometimes you gotta do more. Sometimes you have to lay off this, change this. You know, the guys that have been successful, the gals that have been successful in wrestling have tweaked their image, tweaked their, gimmicks, laid off this moveset, added, created a new moveset for them, and they're successful and better for it. Yeah. And listen to the old school guys, the OGs of wrestling, you young men and women out there in wrestling. Don't act like you're the shit and your shit don't stink and I'm better than that. I don't need to listen to you. You have to. You don't have to, but you should kind of look into it. Okay, maybe he's right. And then if they do it and they say, it's not for me, okay, at least you listen. But anyway, that's that. Let's get moving. Next up, you have Solo in the ring. And I'm like going, what is Tama Tonga's name? I thought this was going to be his name, MFT. And they still didn't say what it was. What does it mean? You know, motherfucking Tama, motherfucking Tonga. You know? But he says that, Solo says that he had to lose a brother. He was trying to say almost like a Dominic thing where they're like booing and they're like telling him boo every time he's trying to talk. He's looking like this guy, I had to lose a brother to gain one. And then, of course, he's talking about Tama Tonga. And, he's in the ring because, Tama Tonga isn't there. He's just talking. All of a sudden, while he's talking, we want Roman chants start breaking out in the audience there. And I'm thinking, a Roman Reigns face turn is a guarantee. And I think that he's going to lead a reunited Usos versus The Rock, Solo, Tama Tonga, and then Jacob Fatu. Now, who's going to be the fourth man for Roman? I mean, are they going to go with somebody who maybe the bloodline kind of did wrong, and then he's trying to make amends, but it should be family? I've heard, of course, Tama Tonga's here now in WWE. Jacob Fatu is on his way. But what about, Silla Fatu, Umaga's son? They say he's ready. I think I made a mistake when I said that, that Booker T was talking about Jacob Fatu as being ready. I think he was talking about Zilla Fatu, but he could be talking about Jacob too. But I think the thing that I heard, I think it was Zilla that he said that is ready. Is he on his way? He's still young. He's still learning. But I hear that he's ready. I've seen some footage of him, and he does the Samoan spike, but he does it like he puts, it's almost like a pump up power bomb. But when he pulls it up, or he just does that, and then he hits the person. Looks effective, man. And if you watch his YouTube channel, he's a very down to earth kid, down to earth guy, and stuff. And you just wish the best for him. He's one of those guys where you just wish the best for him. And let's see if he comes in. I mean, he probably looks a little more like he'd be good for a babyface side. So maybe he'll join Roman. And I'm thinking that thing will culminate at Survivor Series for War Games. So in the meantime, maybe they're going to be only three, and then maybe it's going to be three, and then it's going to be them three, and then Jacob Fatu will come in, in time for Survivor Series, like maybe a month out. And then Roman and them are thinking, okay, who can we have? Who can we get? And then in comes Zilla, or in comes someone else. I mean, remember, like the Usos have another brother, so he could come in. Who knows? They might just hire somebody for that day. They got other guys that are in other promotions, from the Anoa'i family, so they can easily just come in for that Survivor Series. Who knows, right? But that would be great. That would be great just to see that, and that feud can culminate at Survivor Series. I mean, it'll probably still go on, but it's just like the main one. You know what I mean? Like, and then of course we have the draft coming up, so that could even start. Next week, the 26th edition of the 26th of April. That edition of SmackDown is day 1, and then night 2 is on Raw. So we'll see what happens then. But then, as they're in the ring, Tama Tonga looks like he found KO, because throughout the show, Solo's like, "Wise man, where is KO?" And looking the scared, Paul Heyman looking scared and looking intimidated as he has been for the past week. He's all, "Oh, you should be here. I mean, this is SmackDown. The show's already started. He's around here somewhere." And then later on, Tama Tonga found him. He bloodied him. He's bleeding. He's staggering and stuff like that. And when you see KO stumble out from the backstage, and Tama Tonga, man, he comes out looking like a damn, what do you call it, man? Like a ruthless killer. Like, he just comes out, the hood's up, and he's just like this, just stalking his prey like a damn lion, just, zooming in on a damn antelope, And he's legit, man. I mean, I known about him. I just never watched New Japan that much. But that guy, man, it's like he's just legit. And then like in the ring, because KO decided to come back, and then they just leave him bloodied and battered. KO is just a mess in the ring. Like he's just, and you look at Tama Tonga with blood on his side of his right here, and then later on you see Solo like this, and there's blood all over his, and he's just looking at it like, God damn, that looks good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, if The Rock isn't going to be the leader, like it's going to be Solo, and let's say The Rock just comes in and he's just there to support Solo. Solo already, people want to say he's boring, he's one dimensional. I don't think so. That's his character. There are people who are trying in wrestling, trying to be a, you know, an over the top, you know, excitable type of a character and stuff, and they come off like so wooden. Solo, that's his character. People, you have to understand the difference. Yes, he's standing there. Sometimes he doesn't talk. He's talking more, and he really does cut a good promo. He really does talk. He has a presence that's undeniable. And people go, oh, he's just too boring because he just sits there, doesn't say nothing. He sucks in the ring. I mean, sucks in the ring. Are you kidding me? He's like the second coming of damn Umaga. And he has, you know, that it's just that intensity, like his, you know, like the Wild Samoans, like Afansika. You know? Holy crap. You people just complain about everything. And you don't look closely into the damn thing and say, hey, let me look closely. Oh shit, he's not boring. That's his character. And he's very like, you know. Now it's like he's Roman now because he's talking more. And then it's Tama Tonga who's taking over the role that Solo had, where Tama's not talking. He hasn't talked yet. He just lets his actions speak for his words. I don't need to speak. I don't need to say shit. I'm gonna fucking just smash and pound and take motherfuckers out. That's pretty much what he's saying in his actions, not his words. Tama Tonga's, I can't wait to see. With Jacob Fatu coming in, Hikaleo might come in, his brother might come in too. We'll see. Hikaleo's an intimidating guy too. Dude's like, I think nearly 7 feet. You know, built like Kevin Nash was, you know, when he was Diesel and all that shit. That's what it reminds me of. You know. So let's see if that happens. I mean, Triple H has a lot of options when it comes to the Anoa'i family. Even if they don't want to sign full term, a couple pay-per-views. And a pay-per-view appearance, you know. That'd be good. That'd work. I'd like that. I would be down for that shit. Seriously. Now, like I said, man, you know, he's just a legit ass-kicking assassin. That's what I'm going to call Tama Tonga, dude. Oh my God, dude. And then backstage, you know, the 2 cars, boom, smashed in. One car, obviously, you know, deliberately smashed into the damn vehicle. And then Aldis is there. He confronts Paul Heyman, who's there, and he's like, one car is Tama Tonga's, the others is KO's. He's talking up to Heyman like, this shit cannot continue to happen. And with the draft coming up, he pretty much told Paul Heyman that losing isn't the only thing that has consequences. Their actions, possibly, he's going to split them up, you know. Because he said the tippy top executives are looking at the situation. So that's pretty much saying that these guys can split you up just because you guys are causing too much, you know, thing. You know what I mean? And you know Triple H is going to adhere to the SmackDown Raw. These guys aren't going to go over there and then Paul Heyman, remember the last one? And Paul Heyman's all, oh, I got a special excuse shit or a special form that says I can go over to the other brand. No. When you talk about being a specific brand, why are you going to do that? It's just like, why? It makes Paul Heyman look stupid. I bet you anything Paul Heyman backstage as himself, not the characters, going, why would I do this? I wouldn't do this. But, you know, McMahon was somewhat in charge then, or, well, he was there. So I don't know if he came up with that dumb thing, or, you know. But, yeah, very interesting. Especially with the draft coming up. But hopefully they do it better, and hopefully we get some consistency instead of like people all of a sudden popping SmackDown, popping on Raw, Raw popping on SmackDown. You know, we'll see. Next match is Carlito versus Santos Escobar. I like them both. I think they can go, especially Santos. But in the end, speaking of Santos, he ends up winning this snoozer. And when is this feud going to end? I like seeing them, especially like seeing Electra Lopez. Holy crap. I thought I was in love with Zelina Vega, and then I see, what do you call it, Electra Lopez. I'm like going, who can I choose? Of course, I see Liv Morgan, I see Rhea, and I'm like, who am I going to choose? Like, it's like, who do I think is the you know, it's the more sexy, you know, or the more, you know, fine, the more, you know, got it all together, the total package and stuff, you know. But I'm a Zelina Vega, you know, let's just say mark, where I'm just all about her. I've loved her since TNA when she was Sarita. Was her name Sarita, right? That was her name. She was, you know, TNA Tag Team Champion or Knockout Tag Team Champions with, God, what's her name? I forget her name, but she was a trainer in WWE before, and she's, you know, I forget her name. No, she was Rosita. Selena Vega was Rosita, and then Sarita was the other girl. I'm sorry if I forget your name, but she's good too. But let's move on. Yeah, this match, when is it going to end? You know, when is the feud going to end? I mean, give me a break. It's like, we got it, but they've gotten so much stuff out of it. It's like, you know, they squeezed out all the stuff from the sponge, and then they still want to squeeze it out more. Is there more water in there? Come on, let me. There's nothing left. Move them on. They gotta have something that's a definitive damn match. It's too far for a Survivor Series, right? How about an elimination style match, and then you put these guys together, and that's it. It's almost like with the Pride, you know, Bobby Lashley and his boys against Karrion Kross, the Final Testament and his boys. I think that thing already, you know, because Karrion Kross and them are losing all the time. So it's like, why would you continue with that feud? I don't know if they're going to continue with it. You know, there really wasn't a feel of in that tag team elimination match, or not elimination, but a tag team match to crown the new number one contenders for the titles. It's like you don't see those guys even really interact like they usually used to do. Like, oh, so it's personal. I'm going to come out here. They did mix it up, but it's almost like, does that mean that the thing is kind of gone now? They're going to move on. You know, how about you put Karrion Kross's crew on NXT? Run roughshod over everyone over there. Show their dominance. Instead of just them having coming out and then they have half-ass matches and fucked finishes, and then someone does win, and usually it's Bobby Lashley's crew that wins. I mean, even B-Fab, she hasn't even wrestled, and she wins by putting Scarlett through a damn table. I mean, she put herself through a table at WrestleMania, but she's the one that instigated it. So it's like they're getting the one up on these guys every time. Who cares at this point? And I love Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Paul Ellering. The AOP are a great monster heel tag team, but give me a break. It's like, let's have some, you know, something that makes sense. You know, give them better creative. Triple H is in charge. Come on, Hunter. Let's, you know, come on, Mr. Levesque. Let's do something with that. Instead of just putting them out there. You know, him huffing and puffing, you know, Karrion Kross, and then, you know, what do you call it? And then Paul Ellering with that look on his face, looking like Paul Ellering is. It's like when he's not satisfied or he's wants to let you know that he's fucking means business. But then when something doesn't happen, and despite him doing that, his look on his face and all that doesn't even matter anymore. You know, and like I said, I pull for them. I want them to do better. And there's still time, you know. Triple H is in charge now, the new era. Come on, let's let them put them in a legit, you know, build them up towards a feud, not just throw them in like he did with Bobby Lashley's crew. You know. Now, Damage Control, sitting in their luxury box, and Kayla Braxton's like, what's your words now that you? I'm paraphrasing, but she's like to Io that you lost your title, you're no longer the champion. And Io's like, what? How dare you? And then, Dakota's like, she's going to get her championship back, and she's talking to the universe. She's airing her grievances, as if we and Kayla Braxton are fucking HR and shit, and so doing that stuff, and all of a sudden the camera pans over to the next side, the next luxury box there, and it's what's her name, Jade Cargill and the EST, Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair, looking fine, both of them. I mean, dude, you have to, as a man, even like a woman that likes women too. All of us can agree. When you look at Jade, you're just like, you have to kind of dial it back. Don't let whatever's in your mind come out your mouth. You might get yourself in trouble. But damn, she's fine. It's just like, and she's got a physique of a Greek goddess. You could put her right up there with the the what do you call it, the Greek gods and all that stuff, and right up there with her physique and everything like that. What's her workout regimen, man? I mean, what would she do to look like that? It's just like she's just a natural athlete, and she just has genetics, and she's just able to look like that. I don't know. But they're there. They kind of jawing a little bit back and forth, and nothing came out of it. But it's like, okay, is Bianca and Jade gonna challenge for the titles soon? Maybe at Backlash, maybe after, maybe on the SmackDown. I like to see that match. But like I said, hopefully they continue to work on Jade, because I love Jade, but at the same time, the recent match she had, very sloppy. But I think it's just because of the fact that she just needs more reps in the ring. She just needs to work more in the ring, and then she'll get that rust off, and then she'll be able to move the way, I'm sure that she wants. Triple H is very patient. He even said it in an interview that the reason why Jade's where she is because the other company didn't do right by her. And he was right by that. Feeding her nothing but enhancement talent and jobbers and all that stuff to pad her record to 60-0 before she lost to Chris Statlander. I think it was 60-0, right? And then she lost to Chris Statlander, and then she lost again in a rematch. I mean, she put over Chris Statlander, and that's good on Jade. She's already a winner because she does that. She doesn't have an ego. So, and I've seen her in videos where she's totally sweet, totally kind-hearted and all that stuff. The way she comes off, and it's like, she wouldn't be like that, because she's very, very, like, all about her. Not in a bad way, but she's focusing on her. And she doesn't want to deal with nobody else around her. There's a reason why she's with Bianca. It's kind of like a means to an end kind of thing, where it's like she's there, she can help me, maybe possibly get the tag titles, deal with damage control. But all the women, all the ladies looking good. Looking comfy, and their luxury boxes up there just, soaking it in. And they're there to watch the main event. I didn't realize it was the main event until they mentioned it. I'm like, oh, it's that time. It was like 14 minutes left in the broadcast. And of course, the main event is Naomi versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. The last time that these two ladies faced each other was in 2020, February. It was in Saudi Arabia. I don't remember that match, but then at the same time, it's kind of like coming to me a little bit. But that's the last time. That's quite a ways back. But then again, after a couple of years, remember, left. Bianca left, so there's just no reason, no way for them to do another match. But that was the last time. And this is a damn good match. Right away in my mind as the match was going on. And I'm like, why not? I mean, you get these two of the best in this women's division, and they're going at it. And I'm like, if they can't pull a good match out of each other, then I don't know what to tell you. It's like, and they did. And I'm glad that they, it just goes to show that, man, they should have wrestled before this. After after 2020. It's like, you're going to get matches like this, and you notice that the common denominator between her and then when Bayley, and then when she was wrestling Io, is that the match was great. And I'm not taking anything away from Io. In my previous video, I not the one for Raw. I mean, on Dynamite, of course, because it's not Dynamite. But what, the last match, I believe it was my either in the weekend the weekend wrestling one, the video that I did, where I talked about Io showing us what she can do in the ring. Now we know that she's a great performer and a great wrestler, great character, beautiful, all that. But man, she was a technical wizard in that damn ring that time. She was pulling out stuff that she really doesn't do a lot of. She's done it here and there, but that one, it's like, this is WrestleMania, I'm going to show y'all what I can do. But then Bayley, it doesn't hurt that Bayley's in there. And then Bayley's in this match, and she's making Naomi look good, and Naomi's making Bayley look good. They're friends, they know each other, they have a synergy, they got a chemistry in that ring. And you wouldn't think that these guys didn't wrestle for that long. The last time they wrestled 2020. I mean, 4 years ago, right? Let me see. 23, 22, 21, 20. Yeah. 4 years ago. Last time they wrestled. This goes to show how quick and how fast time flies, right? Because it's just like, because Naomi was gone for, a couple of years? But then here she is, and it's just like they pick up where they left off. Like a continuation from that match, right? And the match is all over the place, meaning that they're just going at each other. I love the back and forth, the offense in that match, the moves that they formed. I mean, Bayley tried to go for the roast plant, didn't get it, and then Naomi earlier hit the rear view, and she really at times does get people. She takes people out. She wins matches with that. She tried that old split leg moonsault. She missed with it, but she tried. And then it ended up outside, and they were getting into it, and they were just going at it. And then it ends up being Tiffy time, because then Tiffany Stratton interferes and attacks the two ladies outside the ring, like I said. And then she draws a no contest, DQ, whatever it is. The match is thrown out. And then in the ring, she has both of them laid out, and then she delivers the prettiest moonsault. I love the camera angle. When you see her, it's in the front of her, and she's doing this. And then they turn around, and as she is going to perform the last, on the top turnbuckle, and then or top ring post, and then or top ring, and then she does the moonsault. And I love how she does that, because it's like she hits the first two very, very, like, just plants her feet. And then when she gets to the last turnbuckle, she just, whoop. It's like she just lightly touches it and then she flips. It's like so perfect, man. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, she is definitely going to be a major star. They already have it. They already have her lined up. Now, is she going to get the next title shot? Is it going to be a triple threat? They're going to put this match included in Backlash at the last second? I wouldn't mind it. Because then if Tiffy wins, she could easily Tiffany wins, she can pin Naomi, and then that would make Bayley still look strong, because she didn't get the pinfall, and then she'll get the rematch, right? Yeah, I can see that. But she really is just amazing. Yes, number one, she's beautiful. Number two, she looks good in the ring. And number three, this is a girl that came, I think she was during the Next in Line experiment that they had at TIL, where they get these people from colleges and all that stuff and see athletes and see what they can do in the ring. And there's some people like Tiffany Stratton that can just, it's like that. I want you to do this and this and this, and then end up doing a flip off the rope and landing on the mat. Okay, and she's able to do it. I hear rumors that that Jade is not able to do that like right away. Like, you tell her things like that and she can't remember stuff. I would hate to think that was the case, because she's somebody who has the look and she has the everything, the package, the total package, but the wrestling is lacking. And I don't say that with disrespect, it's just that it's obvious, you see it. And all we want is for her to improve. But Tiffany Stratton, she had a background in gymnastics. And it's like she's able to do all this stuff and looking natural in that ring. Like she's been doing it for decades, for years. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot. That's a lot of admiration for someone that can do that kind of stuff. It's like amazing. Like, she's in that ring and I'm like, holy crap. It's like damn you, what do you call that? Ludwig Kaiser gets to be with her every night. Gets to take her home. Gets to, look in her beautiful eyes, and they spend time together. I mean, I seen a video where it was him and Tiffany Stratton, and it was Gunther and his wife Ginny. Beautiful couple, both couples. And lovely picture. I loved it. I love seeing that. And and it's just like, holy crap, man! She's just amazing in that damn ring. She'll be a multi-time women's champion. She might get the record. She might surpass what do you call it? Well, Charlotte Flair is a different entity. They give her championships every time. She's gonna come back and she's gonna get a title match and she'll beat whomever. So hopefully Bayley will have the title. But I think she's still on SmackDown, so Bayley will still have the title. I hope she'll have it until Charlotte comes back. Because at least when Charlotte beats Bayley, she would have had the title for 6 months, 5 months, at least a good run. But we'll see. Andrade's there. I don't know if they're gonna hook them up and pair them up. I think that would be actually a kind of a decent idea. Experiment. People didn't like it when it was Seth and Becky. Cause I think it was just too ham-handed and too like over the top obvious. Like, look, we're married. Look at this. Look, we're gonna compliment each other. Look at us, like that. And they just kept making it about themselves, even though it is about them. But it's just like, I think it was just an experiment and it didn't work. But we'll see what happens. But what I love about this is at the end, when she connects with that, pretty moonsault, the prettiest moonsault, and then Damage Control is like loving what they see. You see Asuka just get in the groove and dancing while she's just seated and stuff, and they love it. They love seeing what they're seeing because they don't like Bayley. I mean, even Dakota, when Kayla Braxton was interviewing him, was just throwing all kinds of venom at her and stuff like that. Like, she hates Bayley. You can see that. And she wants so much to unseat her again. And she's all behind her girl, EO, to do it. Don't know when that's going to happen. So like I said, Tiffany Stratton is thrown in the mix. So what's going to happen is it'll be a multi-women match. Probably put Naomi back in it because Naomi got screwed out of it because it was a fuck finish. It was a no contest. DQ, whatever it was, but I'm sure it was a no contest because it wasn't announced. Usually, if someone comes and interferes, and it kind of ruins the match, it's usually thrown out as a no contest, right? But yeah, that's my thoughts on SmackDown. I hope you liked the video. I do what I can, I just thought that it was really, really just well done, smooth. The transitions from segment to match and like that, it just flowed. That's what I love about it. It's like there's no pretense behind it. You're not going like on Dynamite. I admit, man, it's like it's playing in the background sometimes, and I'm playing Madden, or I'm playing Resident Evil on my PS5. I'm listening to it. Don't get me wrong. You guys are thinking, oh, wait a minute, how could he give us a good analysis on the Dynamite video if he doesn't watch it? I watch it, but most of the time I'm watching it with my ears. If that makes sense. Listen. Because some of these matches really are who gives a fuck. There's no story behind it. When you look at most of the matches on WWE programming, whether it be Raw or SmackDown, there's something behind it. Tony Khan has the problem of like putting together matches just for the sake of putting these guys together, these gals together. I'm surprised he hasn't put Mercedes in like 5 matches already, all dream matches, and that's it. You ain't going to have nothing else to book her with. I guess he's booking her kind of like a way where it's like, you're not overusing her, but at the same time, it's like, why would your first match with her be a title match? A first match. She's not going to lose her last. So Julia, if she retains the title or if Willow wins, good luck to them. They're only going to have like a month. So Willow will have less than a month reign, and then Julia will tack on a little more time to her reign. I don't know how long she's had the title now. Maybe half a year, right? Maybe 200 some odd days, maybe 100 some odd days. But it's like, But yeah, I loved it. It flowed. It was great. SmackDown got no complaints, man. I love it. Everything was great. For once, it's like sometimes I'm like, I could have done without that segment. I could have done without that in-ring segment, backstage interview, match. You know, was every match great on here? Some were good, some were okay, some were like, okay. I mean, the Santos and Carlito match was a great match, but again, why are we seeing these guys still going at it? Yes, Carlito has a beef with Santos still because of what happened with Dragon Lee, and of course we're going to see Dragon Lee as soon as he's cleared. He's going to take on Santos. He's going to take on one of the Legado guys, Angel Roberto. If he had intergender matches, he would go against probably what's her name, Electra Lopez. Remember, folks, was the last intergender match we had was Rhea and Kira Tozawa. Remember that match? It was fun. I wish they could do more like that, but you're not going to see Candice LeRae take on Bronson Reed or Julian or what do you call it, Damian Priest, taking on Zelina Vega. I mean, it's like Jade could probably take on men. She could probably be the China of this generation. She already is kind of presented as that. But I don't wish that on her because Jade should be her own person. China was one of a kind. God rest her soul. Loved her. Amazing performer, But then again, she was going against men. There's people that say that she wasn't a great wrestler, but I think the appeal of her was that she was wrestling men and dealing with men and taking the clotheslines, the punches, the moves, the stone cold stunners and the rock bottoms and all that stuff. But Jade is a different person also as well. She's a different take on that. But I think that she can make it her own. It's just she has to just continue working in that ring, working at the PC, and I wish her nothing but the best. I really do. I love her. I think she's great. Great for the business. Let's see what she does as we continue to move on, and maybe her and Bianca are going to be focusing on the tag team titles. That would be great. Give her some gold. Let her work with Bianca. Bianca does most of the work, and Jade comes in and just does her super kick and Jaded, and then gets the victory. But I hope that they move away from that. Let's see a little bit more of a moveset. Let them focus on putting together a good set of moves for Jade to do, not just 2 moves. 2 moves of doom. Is that what we're going to say about Jade? Right? I hope not. But then again, we just have to wait and see. But anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Please, if you like the video, please click like and please share. And also click the subscribe button. Because I would really appreciate it. It goes to show that I'm not out here just jawing away for no reason. And also click the notification button. And that way you can get notified when I do put out a video. I really would like you guys to, see my videos and hear my thoughts. And if you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comments. I don't mind. Be honest, because I'm honest. I'll be honest with you. You be honest with me. That's all I ask. That's all we all should be. Let's not pussyfoot around the subject. You got a problem, let me know. If I got a problem with something, I'll let you know. That's how it goes. But anyways, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out again, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And until next time, take care, and I will see you in my next video.